Things have not turned out like I expected. One moment I'm being told the High Overseer is no longer present in the city, despite him being the one to invite me in the first place. The next, the whole city becomes a war zone. My initial defense of the High Hall was simply to get my own flaming fist in a situation where they could assess things better. But when the people of the city started coming here for shelter, well, even I could not simply turn them away. Charging them for the privilege of having the finest of my troops to protect them hardly seemed the right thing to do. Not many people think I care about that. They're wrong. I've always put those under my care first. But soldiers need clothes, food, arms. Those things are not free in life. While I am the Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate, I am no king or emperor. Without coin, it would all fall apart. I was tempted, I admit, to leave these people to their fate. After all, the city of Etruria has often criticized my city and the way we do things. Something made me think differently. I don't know what. Perhaps seeing that in all their pomp and hypocrisy, their children are the same as our children. This is Red Moon role-playing.
The doors begin opening inwards, revealing some sort of courtyard, although it's not really a courtyard, more like a wasteland with tons of bits of metal and jagged stuff everywhere. You see before you about 10 or 20 small creatures. They're not that small though. They actually do seem almost a bit smaller than a dwarf. Definitely halfling sized. They are hard to describe. You immediately think old gnome, but they're not gnomes. Some of them look like old men, some look like old women. Some of them look like both. Again, they don't actually look human. You think it's just one of those things where you're identifying them as human because they look similar. They have sharp noses and pointy ears. Big boots that seem to be made of metal. And all of them are wearing red hats. Strange little hats that they kind of clutch down on their heads. Some of them look very wrong. As if they've got something on them and you can't quite tell where the hat begins and their face begins. It's like they're blurred together. They're all standing, and as they look at you, Larissa, sort of just on the door, they all just start falling over in laughter, going, look, she's climbing the wall like a bug, like a fly.
I mean, you lot are about small as those, so I don't see why it's so funny.
To that, they laugh even more. And at this point, two far larger creatures come forward. They are bird-like with long beaks, carrying with them sharp-looking weapons, and sort of looking at these other creatures and going, well, get out the way, get out the way. And all the creatures start scurrying off, going, all right, we're bored now. And flocking away from you. What does everyone do?
She'll jump down at this point now. Now there's actual things that don't look like they're just going to roll on the floor laughing.
Yes, and Lothar Royce, do you come in?
Yes. And these are obviously Kenku, right?
Correct.
Royce will walk forward as well.
Just the Kenku we were looking for.
They start coming forwards, moving their beady eyes at you and tilting their heads in a bird-like fashion. One of them doesn't say anything, but the other one comes forward and looks at Lulu. Oh! You're back! You come back! Oh, that's good. That's very good. Is it? Lulu says, wonderful, yes, I'm glad I've come back. Why is it good I've come back? Well, last time we got in trouble because we let you off too soon. Sorry about that, our fault. This time, though, you can meet the master. She'll be very happy you've come back. Excellent. Very good. Isn't that right, Clonk? And Clonk goes, and shrugs.
Who is the master? Who's she?
Oh, you'll be introduced shortly. Hello, I'm Chaka. This is my brother Clonk. Clonk doesn't talk much.
Nice to meet you, Chucker.
He nods at you and sort of makes a gesture with his very strong-looking spear of some kind. You notice it has a sort of sheen to it, sort of red tinge to the end. Yes, welcome to Fort Knucklebone.
What were those creatures before?
Oh, those? Oh, red caps. Don't worry. They try and kill you, just kill a few of them. And then, hopefully, the rest will leave you alone. Or they'll all try and kill you, and then you have to kill all of them. And that will be quite messy. So, yeah.
Thank you for the advice. Could you perhaps fill us in? Lulu here is having a bit of trouble recounting. How did you meet Lulu?
Well, we met her in the, when was it, Clonk? Clonk shrugs. Some time ago. Your friend there was in the wastes. Real lost. We pointed her in the right direction. But it's a good thing she's come back, because now she can talk to the mistress.
Do you know anything about a sword?
Sword?
A sword.
They are pointy, good for stabbing people. I like a spear myself.
A specific sword that perhaps Lulu may have had.
A holy sword. With wings at the hilt.
Blinding, radiant light and energy.
You would remember it.
I think I would. Nah, sorry. But maybe the mistress will know. Here she comes. You see emerging now towards you, coming a small creature. Well, not a small creature really, actually quite a large creature. Bigger than any of you, although not too bigger. Next to that creature is a gigantic creature. A sort of... You have no idea. It looks like it has arms and legs and a head, but at the same time, they're all misshapen, all the wrong size. They're not maybe from the same creature. They've all been mashed together. The face has a weird tube-like fleshy appendage in its mouth, and it limps towards you with a head with two horns. You hear the sound of those gates being closed behind you slowly, and you can see these red caps, as he described, beginning to go back to their posts, but all of them watching you. Some of them with daggers, some of them picking their noses, some of them just laughing at you. The ones that look misshapen, just staring at you in a very unnerving fashion. And the other creature, the not largest one, comes towards you. You immediately think of an old woman, but that can't be. Her nose is way too long, almost triangular in shape and sticking out. Same with her jaw. She smiles, revealing sharp teeth. She is dressed in strange clothing, very ragtag. Lots of pockets and belts. And flying then from her shoulder are two birds. Red, nasty-looking eyes, and they sort of just perch nearby you on a little bit of metal. She grins and remarks, "Ah, welcome! Ah, a Hollyphant! Yes, good! Chucker and Clonk, you will no longer be in my bad books for letting her go the first time. Wonderful, you have returned to us, little Hollyphant. Oh, I'm sorry, allow me to introduce myself to your friends. I am Warlord Mad Maggie of Knucklebone Fort, ruler of this part of Avernus. Hello."
Greetings.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, hello.
Well, what brings you all to my fort with such a wonderful gift?
Sorry, a gift?
There's no gift, lady.
She frowns. No gifts. Why are you here then?
We're looking for a sword. A holy sword.
Oh, good for you. No gifts. You can all go.
Well, what gift did you thought we'd brought?
She gestures towards Lulu. Lulu goes, "Oh," and she goes, "Yes, the darling elephant's memories. But if you are not offering anything to me, then I have nothing to offer you, and you can go."
Well, is there any way... Well, our friend here needs help remembering. I mean, Is there any way that we can unlock her memories together, perhaps? Would you be interested in that?
Yes, I think... Do you know ways of helping with memory? The creature nods and smiles. Of course I do. Mad Maggie knows everything. Mostly. That is indeed what I want. But this one over here, the smelly one, who looks like a sewer, says no gifts. So I think we're at a bad impasse already.
Well, I mean, Lulu here is her own being. She's not to be owned or given away. She makes her own decisions, like any sovereign being. But together we can unlock her memories. That is what you're interested in, this Hollyphant. You're not looking for a pet, are you?
No, I want her memories. And I will not give the memories for free. There'll be an exchange.
Why do you want her memories?
Well, the memories of the Hollyphant are most delightful, for they pertain to Zariel.
And why are you interested in those?
Because Zariel has a most interesting story, truly delightful, horrible, unpleasant, miserable. Great.
Yes, but what's your personal interest? Is this just the absence of a good book or something else?
She looks around at her minions and sort of gestures a bony hand towards you. When deals are made, I'll be willing to explain. At this point in time, I am inquiring what you all want. If the Hollyphant wants her memories, I can give in exchange for viewing them myself. The rest of you, if you give me what I want, I will give you many things in return, including the information you seek, presents, treats.
Could we perhaps maybe have a moment to discuss?
Go on then, quickly. I haven't got all day.
Larissa will turn back to everybody, and I imagine we kind of come together a bit and go, do you remember how we were told not to make deals?
I believe we were told exactly that, yes.
But she says she can help me get back the memories, and I currently need them. I remember here, but I don't really remember anything else past this point.
I just wonder if she will take something else from you as well, or take your memories, or I don't know. I have a bad feeling about it, but perhaps it is the only way.
Perhaps, but then we have to be clever with the terms and the wording.
Well, that's true, but Larissa, she's not a devil, is she? I don't think she is.
It doesn't matter. I get the feeling that here it doesn't matter whether you're a devil or any other kind of being, but I feel like contracts are taken very seriously.
Well, that's true. Well, what should we do then?
Are you okay with this, Lulu? Losing some of your memory?
Well, if we find out what we need, I mean, I've already lost a lot of it, so as long as we get what we need.
Well then, I suppose we have a decision then. We just need to be very careful with what we agree.
Well, I guess what we agree is this woman can look at Lulu's memories in exchange for bringing them back to Lulu. As long as we stipulate that there is nothing else given, and that is it. She gets to see the memories, restore them to Lulu, and then allow us to leave.
Yes, that sounds like a good deal. Let's see what she says. And we break this little huddle and move up to Mad Maggie. So, we have conversed and we've come up with this deal. You help unlock the memories. You get to see the memories. We see them together. And then you let us leave. And we leave together with Lulu.
Well, again, I don't want the Hollyphant. It's a disgusting creature. But yes, I want the memories. Yes, of course. But I also want more. My time is valuable, you know.
I'm guessing that gold is of no interest to you?
Of course not. Well, your souls would be lovely, but I'm not a devil, and something tells me you're not going to give them willingly. So no soul taking, and no contracts. That magic is not of my kind. No, what I want is quite simple.
Go on.
It's better if you find out later. Yes. I'm going to...
She sort of looks at this giant creature behind her.
Mickey, you go and get what I need.
The creature makes this sort of sound and starts limping away. And anyone want to roll a perception check?
19?
7.
13.
You don't really pay any heed, Lothar and Royce, to this hulking being, but Larissa, it does strike you a bit strange. You sort of notice that limp, and that's... it's been hurt, this creature. Maybe. Definitely seems like it's limping from an injury. Interesting.
Right. I'm going to go and prepare the spells required to give Lulu some of her memories, which I shall then partake of.
Don't worry, she doesn't lose the memories. The whole point is we're regaining them.
But I just need to see them, see what delicious things she remembers. Other things, yes, we shall talk. But I need to go and prepare. You will wait here. Make yourself at home. Play with the red caps, or whatever you mortals do. Yes.
And she begins to turn away and head to a building of sorts. Again, it's made of ramshackle metal and materials, and seems to be one of the larger ones around here. Lulu sort of seems happy and floats around you. She heads off. What do you all do?
Larissa wants to take a look around and see what objects there are around here. Get an idea of kind of what's going on in this place by what's lying around.
Royce remembers tale of a fantastic machine owned and controlled by these Kenku. So he'd like to try and look for that if possible without raising too much suspicion.
And what of you, Lothar?
I think I'll stay here close to the exit, just trying to keep an overview of the situation, trying to make sure that no one tries to sneak up on anyone or try anything untoward.
Lothar, you stay and just sort of guard yourself. There is much untoward things going on around you, but they don't really seem different to how things usually are. These strange little red-capped creatures are watching you, but at the same time, also just going around throwing rocks at each other, sometimes cutting bits off each other with knives for a laugh, going back to throwing rocks, going back to watching you. You hear that voice from your shield remark,
Why the hesitation here? She's not a devil. You could get much here from simple offerings. Night hags have great power and great magic.
But what could we offer? We have nothing.
Oh, you have many things, Lothar. You have souls, but she said she's not interested. But you have other body parts, other fluids. Trust me, you are very useful to a magic user.
Not sure if I would like my body used as a spell component.
And yet there's a city at stake and things that you need to do. Let us see what she offers at least. You can't just ask. The tiefling is too cautious with this one. It's a night hag. Fey creatures, their magic is not the same as infernal. It can be tricksy, but often a bit more blunt as well. Often if something is offered, you get something in return, and that tends to be it.
Well then, let's see when she comes back.
Royce, you sort of move a little distance away following those Kenkus. They have gone to some sort of cavern, again with metal sheets everywhere. And there you see a great machine. Strange looking to you. It's almost like a wagon, but there are no horses. It's also made of metal and has giant wheels and a very strange shape. You see quite a large one, and deeper in the cavern you think you can just make out there are a couple more. The Kenku go towards the one you can see and start fiddling with something on the front. There's a hatch, and they open the hatch,
and they are doing something. The silent one grunting, and the one who called himself Chucker sort of saying, "No, it's the wrong part, yeah."
I'm just going to observe to see what they do or how they steer or control this machine, see if I can pick up any information on it.
Well, it's not difficult. They aren't doing anything to the machine other than maybe trying to repair it. That must be it. They seem to be going over that hatch, and then they go back into the cave and pick things out and try and put them in, and they don't go in, and there's some arguing, and then they go back and forth like that. While that's happening, Larissa, you just start walking around this place. There are many hovels, many metal tents and metal buildings. A lot of them seem occupied by those red cap creatures. Again, as well, you see the ones that look misshapen. One of them just sort of stares at you as you pass. 4 eyes, rather than 2, sort of drooling at you from the hat. And then you see a skull floating along. The skull is wreathed in green fire, and its eyes glow strange green as well. And you kind of stop, and the skull just looks at you. What do you do?
She just kind of looks back at it, tilts her head a bit. Hello?
Ah! Hello?
I'm so sorry, I don't mean to stare, but what are you?
Oh, are you not a student of magic? Are you not familiar with what you see before you? This voice, by the way, doesn't really come out of the skull's jaws. It's more like, again, a bit like Lulu, like it sort of just emanates from it.
I suppose you could call me a student of magic, but perhaps not in the traditional sense.
Ah, well, allow me to introduce myself, Tiefling. I am Barnabas, mighty wizard. Sadly now, a flaming skull.
I see. Well, it's good to meet you. What do you do here?
Oh, I work for Mad Maggie. I'm her property now. It's not so bad. You could do worse being a flaming skull. You know how it is. I have been transformed, my soul placed for all eternity into this magical device, and here I shall remain until I am destroyed.
I see. Can she be trusted, this Mad Maggie?
Ha ha ha! Oh my, not at all. Unless, of course, you do what she wants, and then she will give you what she wants. Yes.
I see.
So don't steal anything, don't try and attack her minions, don't try attacking her. Oh, goodness me. But yes, if you offer something, she'll give it back.
How far do her capabilities reach?
Well, she's a night hag. Very powerful. Not as powerful as a coven of night hags, of course, but I believe she killed her sisters hundreds of years ago.
Well, that's reassuring. I'm sorry, this has taken me aback. I did not expect it. This is very odd interaction for me, and I say that as somebody with horns.
Ah, I'm sure it is. Fort Knucklebone is a strange place, a frontier here in the realms of Avernus, but we are all her minions, and she is happy as long as she gets her tributes, her pretties, and, well, as long as she does her job for the Archduchess.
The Archduchess?
Yes, Archduchess Zariel, ruler of Avernus. At least for the last couple of, 100 years?
She works for Zariel.
Well, not exactly. This is hell. It's more, she does what Zariel says, and the devils leave us alone for the most part, and don't just destroy us for their amusement.
Do you know anything about a sword? Zariel's sword, a holy sword?
Well, no.
That's good. You have been very useful, Barnabas. Thank you so much.
Of course. Again, as long as you are polite, you have no true harm here. If you're not polite, then great harm. But know this, we are left alone for the most part. You see, it is Mad Maggie's job to try and curb the other warlords a little, make them behave.
I see. Thank you, Barnabas. Perhaps I will come and speak to you again later. But I should get back to my friends, and Larissa is going to dash back towards the group if she can, or especially if she can find Lothar.
Yes. Meanwhile, Royce, you're watching these two bird creatures fix this strange device. Do you just keep watching?
I'm gonna walk up to them to start talking to them. Clunk, isn't it?
Ooh, yes, that's right. Well, no, I'm Chucker. I'm Chucker. That's Clonk.
Oh yeah, Chucker. Hi. I'm just Maggie told us to make ourselves at home. What is this thing?
Ooh, you don't know what this is? Are you new to Avernus or something?
I'm a recently moved here, you can say.
Ooh, this be a war machine. An infernal war machine. Or rather, a custom one, of course. The Devil's ones are an awful lot nicer, but you can find hundreds of these out in the wastes, do a little bit of work, and you got yourself a lovely vehicle for crossing the wastes.
So you salvaged this vehicle?
Oh, yes. Well, we didn't do it with our bare hands, did we, Clonk?
Clonk goes,
No, we used one of the bigger ones.
And he gestures deeper into the cave where you see an even larger vessel, this one with some sort of claw-like device on the back.
Scavenger. Scavengers are the best for picking things up. This one is called a Tormentor. It's a little less smaller.
How does it run? There's no horses to pull it or beasts of burden to drag it around the wastes?
Oh, well, my friend.
It sort of, again, tilts its head back and forth a few times as regards you.
They run on souls.
Run on souls?
Yes, look, see here.
He gestures to a sort of door and lifts it up, and you see then the interior of this tormentor. It's a bit cramped, but you think 3 or 4 people could fit in. You see a sort of chair with loads of levers and a strange wheel, and in front of it, a hatch.
This here's the engine. What you do is you throw your soul coin into the engine, and then it ignites. The soul is fried, and it gives you about 2 or 3 days travel.
Right. So these soul coins are actually people's souls?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. And you collect these souls how exactly?
Well, you find them around, you do some deals with devils. I mean, you're in hell. Gold and silver, meaningless. Devils can make gold like 10,000 gold appear out of thin air. They don't care. Souls are the currency. But of course, soul coins, to be more precise.
And you've burnt your souls to run this machine?
No! Would you burn your own soul? I'll be dead, or no longer exist. No, you burn other people's souls. I'm the owner of my soul, thank you very much.
And you don't care for these people's souls you burn?
He shrugs.
Not really. Why?
Just curious.
Well, not going to do much good just sitting in a coin, are they?
May as well use him for something, that's what I say. Isn't that right, Clonk? Clonk grunts in agreement.
I see. You've been very helpful, Chucker. Thanks.
No problem. Hey, if you please the mistress, maybe you'll even get one.
Maybe I'll ask.
Lothar, you are waiting as you were, and you see Larissa running up to you.
Larissa.
Lothar, this is Mad Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
She obeys the orders of Zariel.
Oh. Well, then we're perhaps one step closer. It does mean that this is a very dangerous place.
I just met a flaming skull that was a wizard, who said apparently she does deliver on her promises though, providing she gets her part of the bargain.
Well, that is good at least.
That is, but it worries me if she is loyal to Zariel.
Yes.
She could warn her of us coming. She could warn her of us looking for this sword. And who knows where that information that she'll learn from Lulu's memories will go.
Probably straight to Zariel.
Apparently this place is fairly safe, though. Apparently they're not bothered too much by the devils, because Mad Maggie keeps the other warlords in line. It's odd. We're both safe, but incredibly not safe at the same time.
Yes, it is very odd.
A little whisper in both your ears for a change, Dasmark.
You're in hell, in Avernus. I'd hate to break it to you, but you're never going to be safe. For very long, anyway.
Larissa looks at Lothar and says, "Sounds way more pissy than it was before."
Yeah, it's been growing worse over the last few days. I think I need to give it something. It wants me to do a lot of things, and I've mostly just politely declined his suggestions.
I don't know what we're getting ourselves in for here.
Well, the one thing we do know is that this is way above our heads, but hey, we're the only ones who can do this. We're the only ones who have the power here to actually change something. And we've dealt with everything that we've had to deal with so far. I'm sure that we can deal with whatever comes our way next.
It's difficult. It seems that everything we could offer here is worth nothing except for our souls.
Yes. Well, there might be other things. The shield, it indicated that we can give parts of our bodies, our blood, those kinds of things, hair, perhaps, nails. All things can be useful for night hags and their spells, used as components.
I would caution against that, but...
Well, it would depend on if we need something. Have I also seen these vehicles that Royce has gone to check out?
You have. You noticed him go and check them out a lot better, and he then conversed with the Kenku, it seems. So you didn't hear any of that, but you definitely noticed them, and they are interesting looking.
I would be at this point returning to kind of explain the situation of what I've heard as well, so...
And just before you come back, I nod to Larissa and I remark, one of those might come in handy if we need to travel further in this plane.
Perhaps.
Says Lulu.
Yes, I'm thinking maybe you won't be able to fly anymore, and maybe I think I recognise them. They're quite useful, I think.
Yes, and technological marvels on top of that. I would love to study that closer.
If Royce explains to us the thing about the soul coins, Larissa will pull out that coin that she got given way back when.
You pull it out, but... Royce wasn't told what one looks like, but you have not felt anything spiritual about this token. If anything, looking at it again in this light, it does look more draconic. It looks like it has a face of a dragon on it.
But she'll pull it out because he's mentioned the coin, and she's like, "Do you think perhaps this is something like that? This token?"
I mean, I don't know. The bird just said, and like, look, these are crazy Kenku. Says you burn a coin, it kills someone who's sold their soul, and you've got 3 to 4 days of power in this magical machine. I don't know what they look like. I just know their currency down here. So their currency, Mad Maggie might be able to tell us or show us, or we work it in as part of a deal, and perhaps we add the fuel for these machines into this deal we're making, I guess.
Perhaps. Maybe this is something different then. I don't know. And she'll tuck it away again after flipping it around in her fingers a little bit.
At this point, one of those red birds perches nearby again, and squawks at you in a strange voice.
The mistress is ready. You can come now.
Oh, excellent. And I begin moving.
It's at this point you are led to that large construction that seems to be one of the central buildings now you notice in this area. As you are led in that direction, again, these little red caps and the other malformed creatures start gathering around you. Again, not immediately hostile, Although the nature of these creatures seems unpleasant and chaotic at best. Still, they are gathering at the entrance. Just before you go in, one sort of steps forward. This one with 8 eyes, 2 arms, and most of its head seeming like it's a mouth.
We got you a present, tiefling!
A present?
Mmm.
And what would you like in exchange?
Nothing.
Another one comes up behind it and throws at your feet a severed toe.
Oh, thank you so much. I hardly know what to do with it. And she'll pick it up. She'll put it in her spell component pouch.
And the toe goes in. As these creatures part out of your way, a couple of them all just start laughing, going,
She picked up a severed toe. It's probably covered in disease.
She just keeps walking. She feels like if she gets into it with these things, she'll just get frustrated and end up hitting one of them.
Indeed. And you enter this building. There's a thick smell in the air of blood and incense and a lot of strange aromas, actually. It's quite dark in here. Light coming from strange orbs that are held in the walls. You're not quite sure what's in here. There's lots of strange boxes, crates, odd-looking things. One little redcap suddenly runs in from outside, its metal boots making quite a bit of noise, you notice, as it clomps along, and remarks,
Mad Maggie, they have come.
Mad Maggie emerges suddenly from somewhere in the room, smoke and mist following with her.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, you have come. Good work telling me they were here. Yes, and she took the toe, and now it's covered in disease.
And Mad Maggie looks at this redcap and goes,
Are you saying you gave my guests an unpleasant item? Yes, it's hilarious.
She reaches forward with a bony hand, surprisingly quick, grabs this little redcap off the ground, and begins throttling it. After a few seconds, you hear a snap, and the neck of the creature is broken. She then tosses it past you all.
Oh, I do apologize. My little servants are quite mischievous. Don't worry, I keep them in firm control. I apologize. It wasn't too horrible a gift it gave you, was it, my dear tiefling?
She'll pull it out of her component pouch. It was quite literally just a severed toe, although I'm not sure of what.
That looks like one of mine from the larder. Oh well, forgive me. Come in.
Larissa will just kind of put it down, as if to say, I'm sure you could have this back if needed.
Ooh, aren't you polite? You've just got yourself even more points. Well done. Now come into my lair.
She'll step in, feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but trying to hide it.
You all go further in. It's even darker inside. You see now there's a great element of mist and haze all around you, strange glowing objects. You can see shelves in one corner with lots of jars of who knows what. And you see in the center of the area something like a cauldron, bubbling with some sort of unpleasant aroma.
So, time has come to discuss payment.
For the Holophant's wonderful memories of Zariel, I shall, of course, let you have the memories.
As long as we both get what we want, Mad Maggie, will be most pleased.
And you will allow us to leave with Lulu, unharmed?
Yes, of course. You keep on going on about me wanting to keep the Holophant. It's a disgusting creature. The memories are precious. The creature itself, hideous, awful.
Lulu wings slump a little as she says, I don't think I'm awful.
You're very pretty, Lulu.
No, hideous. You, on the other hand, my dear, not bad. Lovely horns. the young older man over there, he's got a bit of strapping shoulders to him. That's not so bad. The one with the symbols of Gond. Ugh. Disgusting. Smells of a corpse emanate from that one. And normally, I like that smell, but his is sanctimonious.
Well, I do get my heritage from a place such as this, so thank you.
Now have a seat. Now, first of all, I assure you, I am not after your souls, or even your lives. If I wanted those, I would just kill you now.
So, you're going to help us find this sword?
She shrugs. I don't know about a sword. Maybe what I give you will help you. I don't really care. But what I do want is something far more interesting, especially because it must be freely given. Killing you? Boring. Besides, my little birds have told me you'll be making nice around my camp, which means you are friends. So far, you're in my good books. Make sure you stay there. There's a slight little clenching of those hands you saw earlier break that creature's neck quite easily.
Of course, we wouldn't want to offend you. We were let in, and this is relatively safe, considering we are in hell.
Yes, well, Zariel lets me do my thing as long as I do her thing, which is easy to do and enjoyable.
Well, let's have a look at these memories then, I guess.
We'll get that in a minute. We need to discuss your payment. Coming from all three of you. You don't have to all pay, but less favour and less presents you shall receive. If all three of you do as I wish, then Mad Maggie will be your humble friend and give you all the things you need.
Go on. What are you proposing?
She leans in a little. First of all, I'll be wanting some of your blood, all three of you, and most important of all, I shall require your greatest sins. She grins.
What do you mean acquire our sins?
Well, your misdeeds, the worst things you've ever done. Sins is a word I like, but, I'm not a follower of those religions like that one over there is, but it's a fitting word.
So we just tell you our greatest sin?
Yes, while you spill your blood into these vials. And she brings out some vials. The blood of misdeeds is very potent, delicious, and useful for many other things. I'd like some from all three of you. In return, you get everything you want that I can offer. I can't offer you everything, but Mad Maggie can give you quite a few things.
Okay.
Wonderful. Small catch. If you're just thinking like I know people do. You need to tell everyone here. No secrets between friends. Sometimes finding out the worst things others have done. Ooh, the mistrust. Ooh, the misery. The judgment. Wonderful.
Well. And Larissa looks to Royce and Lothar.
I guess... What choice do we have? Tell our sins to save a city of sinners?
It does sound like a rather easy deal to make. I'm sure it will come back to haunt us later, but, well, that is what we have now.
Very good. Holophant, you can go sit over there. Your spell requires a little more time. She goes to that cauldron and starts stirring a finger in it. But we can start with you three now. Who wants to go first?
I shall do it.
Wonderful. She just adjusts one of her fingers, and you notice the nail grows exponentially sharp. One final thing, Paladin. No lying. I shall know if you are lying. You must confess to your friends, what you consider at least, the worst thing you've ever done. That's not a problem, is it?
No, It is not. We all carry darkness within us.
Exactly. And it's most delicious. All right, then.
She motions for you to hand her your hand.
And I do as she motions.
Speak.
Of my greatest sin?
Yes.
I murdered for the guild in Baldur's Gate.
Murderer, eh? Who did you murder? Who was the most undeserving of being murdered? They better not be bad people who you murdered for good reasons.
No, they were people who had offended Straightstick, the kingpin over there. People who he thought deserved to be murdered, but I don't think that they were any more deserving of it than anyone else. But it was my fate, and I didn't question it. I didn't go against it. My family were the ones who were in his debt, and I did as I was asked. And I killed people who should be alive today.
Do you remember any of their names? Do you remember what they looked like?
There was an old man. He couldn't move. He was in his bed. He wasn't a threat to anyone.
So, the Paladin of Gond is really a murderer of old men in their beds. Most good.
She reaches forth and scratches your hand hard. It hurts.
And I make a little grunt.
And she begins to collect the blood in the vial. It fills quickly, and then she simply smacks your hand away.
Very good. You're done.
I nod and I start backing off.
Larissa will step forward after Lothar steps back.
Very good. So, speak.
And she does the same, gesturing for your hand.
She'll hand it over, and there's still a slightly healing cut from where she cut herself back at the bathhouse on the same hand. I've done many terrible things ever since I left my village, my town. I've killed people, I've stolen from people. Most of them, I think, deserved it, but once, it wasn't long after I'd left, I passed through a small town. They weren't very well off, probably worse than we were, but I had nothing. No money, just the clothes on my back and what supplies I had, and I would have been fine. I could have kept going, but instead I stopped and I stayed. One night, I stole from a woman and her child, just the two of them. I took everything they had, all of their food, what little money. They weren't in their house at the time, but I caused a fire. I didn't mean to. I knocked over something that had been left burning. It ravaged their house, and they were already so without. I thought I would go back at some point when I'd made some money and perhaps leave something for them. But when I returned a month later after having come into some through the guild, it turned out that they had perished through the winter. They had no one to take them in. An innocent family. Didn't deserve it. Gone.
So, while you are a thief with no scruples, even you confess to feeling regret and shame over the murder, incidental, of innocents.
Yes.
Most delightful. But I wonder, are you truly regretful? You are a tiefling after all. Was it truly you who did the deed? Or your heritage calling you?
Doesn't matter either way, does it? If it was my heritage or not. Those people didn't deserve that. They didn't bargain for that. That was not order. It was chaos. Accidental, unplanned chaos at my hand. That is nothing to do with my heritage.
No. Well said.
Reaches forth, again, a sharp scratch, perfectly on that wound, it seems, that was healing. Opening it, your blood spilling.
Larissa doesn't even flinch at this. She's been sent back to this moment in her past, and she's just numb to everything now. Like, having never admitted it aloud to anybody. And just steps back and kind of starts binding her hand with some bandages she has.
The vial has filled, she takes it away, and unlike Lofar's, after a certain moment you do see a strange sizzling effect seem to take place. Mad Maggie grins wildly.
Of course, tiefling blood in a way is double valuable. Most good, most good. Very good. Yes, a thief and a killer. What of you, big man? Come forth.
So Royce steps forward, kind of after hearing the other sins, surprised, especially by the follower of Gond. I am no murderer, but I have lived a lie for a number of years. I preach integrity and virtue and honor to my students in my gym, but that gym is a house of lies. It was given to me in exchange for throwing my biggest fight, the final fight in the fighting pits of Baldur's Gate. If I gave up the championship and didn't win the championship, I would receive payment and be a very rich man with my own boxing gym back home if I did. So all my students who I've taught these last 10-15 years have been sold a lie.
She squeezes your hand tight for a moment.
So you are a liar. An honourable liar. You lie about honour. But truly, when push came to shove, you had none. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
A quick slice, the blood in the vial.
So, a wonderful holy murderer, a dashing thief who also kills, and the honourable fighter with no honour. Oh, you three are all very delightful. You have pleased Mad Maggie greatly. You truly belong here in hell.
And part of me feels that she's probably correct in that assessment.
And you hear that whisper, Lofar, saying,
Good. It's good to admit that to yourself, Lofar. And you see, I believe you are going to get worthwhile things from this night hag. All it took was a little blood spilling.
I suppose you are right about that. Well, what's done is done now. Let us see.
And so, the final part of the bargain. Sit, sit, sit.
I sit.
and she goes to the cauldron. She begins to wave her hands back and forth, the mists, the vapours beginning to form around her hands and take on a strange, almost shadowy-like form. She looks to Lulu. Lulu looks a little apprehensive, and then she begins intoning.
Memory, memory, dim as darkness, illuminate back and share with us your secrets.
And suddenly she raises her hands in the air, and the entire area is covered in darkness.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Role-Playing, where we played the campaign Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We were joined by Virginia Page, who is Tabletop Horde on Twitter, and Owen Fáilbhe from the How We Roll podcast. We would like to extend our thanks to our friends at Wizards of the Coast for all their support in getting us the material early and for helping more people discover our show. The music you heard was made by Halgrath, Aegis Sonus, Atrium Carceri and Herbst 9 and was used with permission from their label Cryo Chamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody, dark ambient. We also used the soundtrack to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 by Michael Honig and to Planescape Torment by Mark Morgan, and permission for this was given by the awesome people at Beamdog. Check out the enhanced editions of those classic games for some of the best D&D adventures ever created. We would like to give a massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, and David for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, and we are proud to say that we have had some excellent exclusive play sessions with our absolute top supporters. All of your lovely support is what keeps the show going, so please do check us out. Thank you again for listening, and see you soon again.